guys, what's up? 8 Brian here. I am back once again for another month of flea market and thrift store finds. This is for November, so sorry about the lateness of the video coming out, but I just had a lot of stuff going on recently, which I will go through in a channel update video. So I know some videos have been a little inconsistent recently, but I'm trying to get back on a more regular schedule. So anyway, let's check out everything that I found for the month of November, and we'll start things off with toys and miscellaneous. So last month, picked up a couple of Transformers, which are pretty unusual for me because they're usually really expensive, so anytime I can find Transformers cheap, I'm always really happy. I got a Sunstreaker upgrade to one that I bought from my friend Dan at Columbus a few months ago for $3. This guy is $20, and the only thing he's missing is the hands, his weapons, and a few decals. So that's actually a really good price for a Sunstreaker with really nice rubber wheels, no rot, good paint. And this was always one of my favorite Transformers as a kid, so glad to finally have a good-looking Sunstreaker to add to my collection. Also from my friend Mel at Columbus, I picked up Skywarp, which I keep mistakenly call Ramjet, which I already have. I have no idea why I want to call him Ramjet. This is just the Seeker body, but the wings and stuff online are pretty cheap, so I'll restore them, to like a base condition with hands and the wings and stuff. Maybe missiles if I just find them loose, but I'm not going to order them because that'll end up costing me like $30 or $40 to restore this figure, where I can just get the wings for like $8 to $10, and that'll have them restored. So I think the only one I don't have now would be Dirge. I believe Dirge is the only one that I'm missing, so I've pretty much got my Transformers Seeker collection completed. And also in the same vein of Transformers, this I found, which is very, very cool. This is a Transformers digital watch, and this is from the Chronoform series of transforming watches that came out in the mid-'80s, and they were a line of watches made by Takara that transformed into planes, cars, little guns, a little mini boombox, and this guy transforms into a little robot, and you can, wear it just as a regular watch around your wrist. So, or you can actually squeeze the sides and he pops off and transforms into a little robot. Now the thing is this is actually a knockoff Chronoform, which he's still kind of valuable. The watch is probably worth between $30 and $50, I guess. And the reason I say that I guess is because the watch band is Takara, so that's an official Transformers watch band. But I think somebody just along the way picked up a knockoff Chronoform robot and put it in the watch band. If this was the actual Chronoform legit robot watch where it would say Chronoform underneath the logo, this is a $300 watch. These things are unbelievably rare. It's still really rare to find one of these regardless, but it's just, unfortunately, it's only worth like 25% of what a actual Takara complete Chronoform would be worth. So since this is like his Diaclone knockoff cousin, it still has some value and it's uncommon to find, but just nowhere near as valuable. So a big disappointment with that, but I remember a lot of kids in school having these, and it's just really cool to find one. I always wanted one when I was a kid, so that was just really neat to find. Also, I picked this up. I think this was $2 or $3. I picked up this little Knuckles from Sonic and Knuckles PVC figure, and you can see his big knuckles on the front there. And he stands up really well, so it's really cool to find him. And I picked up a few VHS tapes. Picked up Inhumanoids, the evil that lies within, for $1. And a very, very rare, almost unheard of rare VHS. This is Gaiking Force 5, and these were the actual Japan, the Japan series of Shogun Warriors. So what we got in America was Shogun Warriors, but what it was actually called in Japan before it was taken over. I don't remember the production company, but the production company that took it over once it came to the States, they turned it into Shogun Warriors. But what it was actually called in Japan is Gaiking Force 5. So this is unbelievably rare. There are, I don't think, any whatsoever on eBay at all. From my research, I found this is probably between like a $50 to $100 VHS. So that's a pretty awesome find. I didn't even care how much it was worth. I just love the cover art because I love Voltron and transformable combiner robots, and it's just awesome. So I can't wait to watch that. I've already watched the Inhumanoids one. That was something. It wasn't good. So anyway, moving right along, I do have one more toy, but I'm going to be saving that until the end. Two things, actually, which I'm going to start calling my, I guess, finds of the month. But anyway, that'll move us right along into video games. So first off, I will start off with a couple of little consoles I found. This past month was a great month for Game Boys. So I picked up a Game Boy Advance, and yes, this has the box. The manuals and everything are in it. Nothing special, just your run-of-the-mill purple Game Boy Advance. Did have some problems starting up, but I got it working great. And I had this purple one when I was a teenager, so I'm a little partial to it. So, I think I paid $5 for this. There's a guy at one of the flea markets I go to that every so often he just brings out a ton of his video games and clearances them out. So it's just cool to have the box for like display purposes, and I guess if I want to sell it, it's worth a little bit more because everything's in there. So, that's cool too. And moving right along into Game Boy Land, I also found a Game Boy Color. Nice green Game Boy Color. Paid, I think, like $4 or $5, like practically nothing for that. Silver Game Boy Pocket, I paid $10 for that. Also a good deal. And then I found not one, but get this, 2 Game Boy SPs. The Advance SPs. Paid $1 for this one, and then just another $5 to replace the cover and the battery. And a red one, which I paid $5 for, and works perfectly fine. So for $10 to have 2 Game Boy Advance SPs, yeah, right. You're kidding me. That's like a $70 discount. They go for like $30 to $40 easily online. So that was really cool to find those. Let's see. I guess I'll move into this first as well. Found some good NES stuff as well this month. I picked up Blaster Master. I want to say, I don't think I paid more than $3. I might have only paid $1. I think I paid $1 for this. I think that was in the like the bargain bin video games. That's one I really want to play through. I've seen a lot of good things for that. I never actually played that. I don't remember playing that as a kid. This I think I paid like $9 or $12 for. I think it was like $12. This is a pretty uncommon game. This is called Thunder and Lightning. And it's a really wacky type of breakout game where there's like this, like these Japanese gods where like there's one guy shooting lightning from a cloud, and there's like a little guy like Kung Fu Master that hits the balls back from like a dojo. So it's just a very wacky, funny breakout like Arkanoid game. So that was really cool and kind of uncommon to find that. This I think I paid $5 for. This is fairly uncommon. This is the 2-pack for the Power Pad of Short Order and Explode. Kind of fun. Short Order looks like a fun game from what I've seen from gameplay footage online. And then for $1 each, I also got Bases Loaded. And this is Major League Baseball. So anytime I see NES stuff for $1, I don't care what it is, I'm going to pick it up because I'm adding to my collection for only $1. Why would you not pick that up? Also, I've got some Super Nintendo games. I believe these were also part of the deal, I think. I got Lethal Enforcers. I don't have the gun for that, I don't think. So I need to get the gun for that. And then I think this was part of the deal. I don't really remember. Pretty sure, but I got Batman Returns as well for the SNES, which I've heard is like pretty terrible, but whatever. It was pretty cheap, so no big deal. And also picked up some stuff for my PlayStation. Picked up Mortal Kombat 3, disc only. Mortal Kombat Trilogy, disc only. Grand Theft Auto, the original, which is an awesome game. If you never went back and played the first one, I totally recommend it. I mean, it's nothing like GTA 5 and stuff, but GTA 2, GTA 1, even Grand Theft Auto, like the British one, like they're all really fun, like top-down, just insane Grand Theft Auto madness. And I still remember when that first came out, seeing it in Funko Land, and me and my buddy Ron were in there, and like we heard the monitor, and like the little guy was cursing, and he was like, "Oh, he's like, get the fuck out of the way," or something. We were like, "Oh my god!" We were like, a video game just cursed. So you gotta understand, when this came out in like what, 95, 98, that was unheard of. Like aside from Postal, which not many people played because it was banned from PC, like Postal and Postal 2, or maybe Duke Nukem, games didn't curse. I mean, they especially didn't use like the F word or like shit or ass or whatever, which I know sounds corny now, but when you're like a 13 or 14-year-old kid, that's mind blowing. Or whatever, however old I was, I don't remember, 16, 17, like, that's mind blowing when you're like a kid to hear video games cursing. That was revolutionary. So, with that aside, like that whole game was revolutionary for me when I was a teenager. Just playing that, it was like, you know, games like Twisted Metal and like Vigilante 8, like they changed a lot of the gaming, you know, landscape. But anyway, moving on from that, I also found a moderately uncommon game. This is called Shadow Masters, and it's like you're riding like these demonic vehicles in kind of a Twisted Metal type battle style, and looks pretty neat. Don't remember how much I paid for that. Maybe $1, maybe $2. No more than 5. I know that. Also got a couple of games for my Game Boy. Jurassic Park for the Game Boy. I think I paid $1. Yeah, it was $1 for that. And this is a pretty uncommon game for the Game Boy. This is called Tasmania Story, and it's a pretty fun little puzzle game, and it's pretty uncommon. I think I paid $2 for that, maybe $3. Goes for about 15 or so online, so pretty uncommon. And then this I got with my red Game Boy Advance SP. This is Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stone. So that was just a bonus, you know, for $5, getting a working SP and a Fire Emblem game. That's awesome. Okay, also got some more stuff here. I picked up some other good stuff for my Genesis with that whole video game clearance sale, which I love that that guy sometimes does at Columbus. Picked up a fairly uncommon game, which looks really fun. This is Zany Golf for the Genesis, and it's a really good little 16 simulation of like wacky miniature golf with like the different obstacles and stuff. So that looks really fun. Picked up Taz Escape from Mars, action platformer style game. Arch Rivals, which I forgot that came out on the Genesis. I'm so used to this being like a Nintendo-only release, so I want to see how that plays on the on the Genesis. The Adventures of Mighty Max, and again, these I think I only paid $1 each for. And this is one of those games I always think is more uncommon than it actually is, but it's actually pretty run-of-the-mill and not worth much at all. But the cover art really makes you think, like, oh wow, Mighty Max, like. I don't know, it just makes me think it's more uncommon than it really is, but it's not. But I love Mighty Max, so it's cool to have that in my Genesis collection. And then I also got Asterix and the Great Rescue, which Asterix was a French-style cartoon where he's like a Viking, if you ever saw stuff like Hagar the Horrible. And he's, I don't know, he's some type of weird Viking hero, and like we got the comic in America, but it never really did too well over here, never really took off, so yeah, he's a thing in France. I guess. And also picked up Rayman, a nice PS1 long box edition. A little beat up, but still I love picking up the long boxes whenever you see them because they're kind of uncommon. I mean, like, uncommon is such a weird term to use because I guess if you go to conventions and stuff, it's not uncommon at all. But I mean, like, more uncommon if you just, like, find it at a yard sale or a flea market. Like, that's what makes it uncommon, as well as being an uncommon game. Also for my Atari 400 800 XL, I picked up Submarine Commander, complete in box, and I got that for, I think, $4. Got that off my good buddy Rusty. And I picked up Coconuts for the Atari 2600. I think I paid $8 for that, which isn't bad because that's exactly what it's going for on eBay. So didn't really get a discount, but you know, it's an uncommon game, and I love my Atari stuff, so I can't complain about that. Let's see. I also picked up, these are two kind of oddball video game things. I picked up a Killer Cuts CD, and this is the soundtrack to the Killer Instinct game. I think for the Nintendo 64 version. And you can see the CD here. I only paid $1 for this, and this goes for like $20 online. So that's really awesome. Very, very unusual and uncommon with Spinal. Should have his earbuds in and be jamming out on the front. And then another really odd find, but a really cool one. This is an unusual find. I found a actual Commodore 64 joystick, and you really don't see these. So this, aside from, I think, a printer, this all but completes my Commodore 64 setup, which hopefully I'll do a review on in the future, since it seems like a lot of you guys really like my 800 XL review that I did. And really, really very, very bizarre and rare to find this. So that's only $5. And just cool that I can add that with the rest of my Commodore 64. Let's see, that'll pretty much do it aside from my two finds of the month. So this month I'm going to have a different category because there's two different things. My toy find of the month is going to be this Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back lunchbox. And I paid $10 for this. It's in pretty good shape. All the artwork is still intact. Not really a lot of chipping or peeling. And I'm just an absolutely manic Star Wars fan, so this was so awesome finding this. And I found the thermos a week later, but can't show that today because that's for my December find, so that doesn't quite count. But inside, even more awesome, there are puffy stickers from the Kiss Band, and like football, and like those Wacky Pack stickers with like the disgusting brands and stuff. So this is like not just a lunchbox, but it's like a time portal. Like, you know, some little kid or some teenager, you know, put all their Kiss stickers in there. Was a big Kiss fan. Apparently a Peter Criss fan too. You know, the drummer of Kiss. If you don't know Kiss, and yeah, like wow, that was unexpected and just made this lunchbox like so much more cool and of the time period. And then I also picked up this. I picked up a Donkey Kong 2 Game & Watch. And what makes this really special is that not only is it in pristine mint condition, but it works flawlessly, works absolutely perfectly, and I only paid $25 for this, which if you're into the gaming circuit and stuff like that, you know that that's unheard of. You're not buying a Game & Watch like this for only $25. This is at least an $80 to $150, $190 item, you know, easily all day. Like I go into Classic Game Junkie a lot of the time, and even for the single screen ones like you know, Mario's Cement Factory or whatever, you're not paying any less than like $80, you know, for one of these, much less a double screen. I mean, it doesn't have the box, but I mean, still, that's just, that was crazy finding this for $25. So, you know, another really awesome find. Really glad to have that in my collection. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for my finds for November for flea market, thrift store, and yard sale, garage sale finds. So again, you know, keep hitting those flea markets and thrift stores. Definitely comment below and hit me up on my Twitter on the King of Retro page and show me pictures of what you guys are finding out there. And I'll see you next time. Take care.
Hey guys, if you liked the video that you just watched, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And if you do the Facebook or Twitter thing, follow me at #KingOfRetro. See you next time.